All right, welcome back, everyone. And today we have 2009 Kobe Bryant finally, proved himself. As we know, that year, that was the year where Kobe, proved everyone wrong. That he could win a championship without Shaq. And that was really crazy, man. He was the best player in the league at that time. So let's go ahead and see it.
He was humiliated on the biggest stage.
Hope you guys are
blown
doing
out
fine.
by 39, questioned again, and still labelled the guy who couldn't win without Shaq. 1 week after the embarrassment, Shaq grabbed a microphone and turned it into a public diss.
Yeah, I remember that. Last week, Kobe couldn't do without me. Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. You guys remember that one, right?
2 days after losing his second best player, Kobe did something nobody had ever done at Madison Square Garden. This is a story about redemption, pressure, and legacy, not a highlight reel, a deep dive into what 2009 really meant. Most people know Kobe won 5 rings. Most people know about the Shaq beef. But very few understand how close Kobe came to being remembered completely differently, and how one season changed everything. Up to that point, Kobe Bryant's history with the most glamorous franchise in the NBA was already loaded with milestones. The Lakers acquired him at just 17 years old. He started an All-Star game at 19. He signed a $70 million contract at 20. He got married at 22, and by 23, he had already won 3 NBA championships. Then, at 24, everything changed. Because of what happened in Colorado, Kobe became the most polarizing athlete in all of sports. What followed were 4 deeply awkward years. The league's most gifted player trapped on forgettable teams. Carrying the weight of non-stop scrutiny, Kobe endured the negativity and learned how to feed off it.
At Marshall's, our buyers hustle 24/7 to get you great deals on the good stuff.
Okay.
By 07-08, things finally started to turn again. Bryant won MVP, and the Lakers were back in the NBA Finals for the first time in 4 years. And not just against anyone, against Boston. The league's most iconic rivalry was officially back. Still, even with all that progress, Kobe didn't want moral victories. He wanted everyone to remember how losing felt.
At the same time, understand that, second place just means you're the first loser. So,
Damn.
just kind of understanding that mentality and coming back next year ready to work at it. But
The first
hold
loser.
heads up high, we did pretty well.
Because as competitive as that season was, the ending was brutal. Game 6 might as well have been a sweep. Boston demolished the Lakers, 131-92.
Yeah, this was crazy, man. This was really crazy, man. This was a beat down, bro, like no other, man. Like the Celtics, this was literally at the TD Garden, bro. They were celebrating before time was out. This was really hard for the Lakers, bro.
39-point humiliation on the biggest stage. And as visibly devastated as Kobe was, he understood exactly why it happened. Outside of himself, Derek Fisher, and Luke Walton, almost no one on that roster had championship experience. Pau Gasol had never even won a playoff game, let alone a series. Boston, meanwhile, was stacked. Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, a deep, battle-tested bench, Doc Rivers on the sideline, role players like Rajon Rondo, James Posey, Eddie House, Tony Allen, and Glenn Davis, and veterans like Sam Cassell and PJ Brown.
Yeah.
The Celtics were battle-tested.
That Celtics team was stacked, bro.
And hardened. To understand why 2009 mattered so much for Kobe Bryant, you have to understand what happened in June 2008. And more specifically, what happened 1 week later.
You're back together. How is history going to remember this duo?
Shaquille O'Neal. All season long, Shaq played the role of the supportive former teammate, publicly happy for Kobe's success, just in case Kobe finally got that ring without him. But anyone who followed Shaq's career knew better. He was one of the most egotistical athletes of his generation. Too many feed the big dog quotes, too many tantrums, too much pride. There was no chance Kobe's success wasn't eating at him. So when Kobe played arguably his worst basketball of the season and failed to win his 4th ring, it's not hard to imagine Shaq sitting back thinking, I won. Because whether they admitted it or not, Shaq and Kobe were still competing, publicly, personally, and relentlessly. And Shaq chose his weapon. In 2008, while freestyling at a Miami club, Shaq delivered what might have been his most vicious diss yet. The feud spilled into public again, fueled by old ego clashes and Kobe's past allegations that Shaq had paid women to stay quiet. In the freestyle, Shaq accused Kobe of ratting him out, claimed that was why he was getting divorced.
He said Kobe ratted me out. That's why I'm getting divorced. He said Shaq gave a bitch a meal. I don't do that because my name Shaquille. I remember.
Repeatedly taunted.
Kobe, tell me how my tastes.
It became a call and response chant with the crowd. Public, personal, ugly. And for Kobe Bryant, it added fuel to a fire that was already burning. Kobe could have played the same game. He could have fired back, recorded his own diss, turned it into public back and forth fueled by ego and headlines. Instead, Kobe did something far more telling. He took all of that anger, all of that embarrassment, all of that noise, and funneled it inward. Not into revenge, but into evolution. When Kobe needed clarity, he didn't look for validation from the outside world. He went to the person who had already walked the exact path, Michael Jordan. And MJ didn't sugarcoat a thing. He gave the Black Mamba a reality check. Michael gave me some really good advice after the 08 finals. You got all the tools. You gotta figure out how to get these guys to that next level to win that championship. It is what it is. You gotta figure it out. There's no other alternative. That was it. No shortcuts, no recruiting pitches, no sympathy. Just responsibility. MJ challenged him to solve the problem himself, the same way he always had. And Kobe listened, but his redemption didn't start in the NBA. It started overseas.
Overseas.
Before the Lakers' next season even tipped off, Bryant reclaimed a piece of himself with the Redeem team in Beijing. He was already a 3-time NBA champion, the reigning league MVP, a Lakers legend, and one of the most famous athletes on the planet. Still, that wasn't enough. Kobe wanted that Olympic jersey so badly that he delayed surgery on a torn ligament in his finger.
Yeah, that Redeem team, bro. And the way he pushed Paul Gasol, to make him tougher. Hey.
Just to be there. For him,
Kobe was the man on that team, bro. Not LeBron, not Dwayne Wade. Kobe was on that Redeem team.
This wasn't just about winning gold. It was about washing away another stain. The one left by Team USA's disastrous 2004 showing, 107. But his real impact went far beyond the box score. While LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony filtered toward the back of team meetings, Kobe sat front and center. He was in the gym at 5 a.m. every day, setting a standard no one else could ignore.
Yeah.
Through discipline, maturity, and an obsessive commitment to preparation, Kobe became the unquestioned leader of a roster overflowing with talent. That Olympic gold mattered, not just because it dulled the pain of the 2008 finals, but because it reshaped how Kobe Bryant was seen, not as a selfish individualist, but as a relentless, demanding leader who dragged everyone around him to a high level. And with that mindset fully locked in, he was finally ready to lead his NBA team back to the promised land.
The promised land.
Bryant and the Lakers entered the 08-09 season with a different edge. The finals loss to Boston still burned. Kobe had been embarrassed on the biggest stage and still hadn't won a championship without Shaq. That mattered a lot. This season wasn't about revenge talk or moral victories. It was about removing doubt. With a full off-season to reset and key players trending toward health, the Lakers believed they were closer than ever. The loss to the Celtics was a brutal lesson, but it hardened them mentally. For Kobe, coming up short wasn't a reason to tear things down. It was a challenge to come back sharper, tougher, and more connected. That pain bonded the 2009 Lakers. After reaching the 2008 finals without starting center Andrew Bynum, the Lakers were widely viewed as the favourites from the West to get back there. And once Bynum returned to the lineup, along with a healthy Trevor Ariza, they wasted no time showing it. Los Angeles opened the season 7-0. A week later, they tied their best start in franchise history. Then they hit what seemed like a huge roadblock. On January 31, against the Memphis Grizzlies, Bynum left the game with a right knee injury. An MRI revealed a torn MCL, sidelining him for an expected 8 to 12 weeks. Losing a cornerstone in the middle of a redemption season would have crushed a lot of people. But Kobe wasn't like most people. Instead of sulking, he got angry. And a couple of days later, he made sure everyone felt it. On February 2, 2009, Kobe Bryant walked into Madison Square Garden and dropped 61 points on the Knicks on 61% shooting in a 126 to 117 win.
Taking off the dribble. Kobe being on the arc when you're as confident as he is to begin with. Slipped over to Powell. Now David Lee tracking Kobe because of the space. Kobe bounces him. He's got Kobe on the wing and Kobe flying hard. Kobe beats Chandler on his way down at the guard. Kobe on a fall away.
Too good.
Incredible level. He's got it. Kobe Bryant has now scored more points than any other player at Madison Square Garden with 61.
It was the most points ever scored at the Mecca, breaking Bernard King's record, a mark that stood until 2014. It was also the highest single-game scoring performance of the entire 08-09 season. Bryant poured in 34 points in the first half and 15 in the fourth quarter. His final line, 37 minutes, 19 for 31 from the field, and a perfect 20 for 20 from the free throw line. Later, Kobe explained exactly where that performance came from.
Andrew Bynum, we just lost the game before. He got an injury against Memphis, right? And so I'm like, we just lost to the Celtics in 08. We think we got Andrew, who's going to make a big difference for us. Now he goes down. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. The team was a little deflated. I was pissed off. You know what I mean? Because it's like, no, we're winning the championship. We should come hella high water. And my guys were down. And going into New York, big game, I said, all right, I got to send a message to my guys and say, no, listen, we're doing this. I understand it's hard, you went down, but damn it, we're getting it done.
And they did. The Lakers won 23 of their next 31 games before Bynum returned for the season's final stretch and into the playoffs. The team stayed resilient, with others stepping up in his absence. And by the time the postseason arrived, they were battle-tested. Case in point, February 8th, the Lakers snapped the Cleveland Cavaliers' 23-game home winning streak. They also became the first team in NBA history to win back-to-back road games against teams with an 800-plus winning percentage at least 40 games into the season, beating Boston and Cleveland on consecutive nights. Cleveland's loss to LA was one of just 3 home defeats they suffered all season, including the playoffs. By late March, after spending virtually the entire year atop the conference, the Lakers clinched the best record in the Western Conference. And when the dust settled on a 65-win regular season, Los Angeles entered the playoffs as co-favorites to win the title. This time, they weren't just talented, they were ready. In the first round, the Lakers drew 8-seeded Utah Jazz. Los Angeles took care of business at Staples Center in Games 1 and 2, but the series turned tense in Salt Lake City. Game 3 slipped away on a Deron Williams game winner, and Kobe struggled mightily, shooting 5 for 24. He answered the only way he knew how. In Game 4, Bryant erupted for 38 points on 16 of 24 shooting in a road win, swinging momentum back to Los Angeles. The Lakers closed the series at home in Game 5 with a 107-96 victory. The second round brought a bruising matchup with the Houston Rockets and immediate adversity. In Game 1, the Lakers fell behind early and never found a rhythm, dropping their first home game of the postseason. Game 2 was a response. Kobe poured in 40 points, Pau Gasol added a double-double, and the series was tied 1-1. The intensity escalated quickly. The game featured ejections for Derek Fisher and Ron Artest, along with tech fouls to Bryant, Artest, Louis Scola.
Who would have known that same Ron Artest would be, a big reason for why they went back to back, But damn.
Walton and Lamar Odom. The series shifted to Houston, where the Lakers reclaimed control with a 108-94 win in Game 3, but Game 4 slipped away, 99-87, even with Rockets center Yao Ming sidelined for the remainder of the series with a broken foot. Game 5 was a statement. Los Angeles blew out Houston by 40 points, tying the worst loss in Rockets franchise history. Still, nothing came easy. Houston forced a Game 7 with a decisive 95-80 win in Game 6. On May 17, back in Los Angeles, the Lakers left no doubt. They routed the Rockets 89-70, leading 89-58 with 2 minutes 30 left, allowing Kobe to sit out most of the fourth quarter. The Western Conference Finals brought a different challenge. Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Game 1 saw the Lakers trail by as many as 13 in the first quarter before finding their rhythm. By halftime, they led 55-54. In the fourth quarter, Kobe took over, scoring 18 of his 40 points to seal a 105-103 win and a 1-0 series lead. Game 2 was tight throughout. After a strong second quarter by the Lakers, Denver clawed back and ultimately stunned the Staples Center with a 106-103 win, handing Los Angeles its second home loss of the postseason. Game 3 was another nail-biter, decided in the final minute when Bryant hit 2 free throws with 12 seconds remaining. Kobe finished with 41 points, 13 of them in the fourth quarter, as the Lakers stole back home court advantage. Denver answered in Game 4, evening the series with a 120-101 win, aided by 49 free throw attempts. But that was the last push. The Lakers defended home court in Game 5, then closed the series in Denver in Game 6. Bryant delivered 35 points on 60% shooting, along with 6 rebounds and 10 assists, propelling Los Angeles into its 30th NBA Finals appearance. Waiting for them were the Orlando Magic, appearing in just their second Finals in franchise history.
I'm still mad at it, bro. It should have been LeBron, bro, in the Cavs, bro. Damn it, bro. Should have been LeBron in those Finals, though. Like, literally, Nike, they were posting commercials of LeBron and Kobe. They were supposed to be them two in the Finals, but damn.
The Lakers held home court advantage and immediately asserted it. Kobe scored 40 points in a Game 1 blowout. Game 2 was far tighter, decided only after Courtney Lee missed a potential game-winning layup off an inbounds lob at the end of regulation. The game went to overtime and the Lakers prevailed. The series shifted to Orlando for Games 3, 4 and 5. Game 3 saw the Magic storm back, shooting 75% in the first half and 62% for the game, both NBA Finals records, to pull within 2-1. Game 4 became a classic. Derek Fisher drilled 2 massive three-pointers, one with 4.6 seconds left in regulation to force overtime, and another with 31 seconds remaining in overtime to seal the win. The Lakers were now one victory away from their 15th championship. Orlando still believed. They had already erased 3-1 deficits against Philadelphia and Boston, then upset LeBron James and Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals. History didn't intimidate them. Kobe did. All season long, there had been a quiet belief among NBA observers. When the Lakers were locked in and playing their best basketball, nothing else really mattered. They proved it in Game 5. Los Angeles claimed its 15th NBA championship with a dominant 99-86 win, a game that never felt close. The Lakers pulled away in the second quarter, broke Orlando's spirit with timely threes in the third, and spent much of the fourth celebrating amid a surprising number of Lakers fans inside the Amway Arena. Kobe Bryant averaged 32 points and 7 assists across the 5 Finals games, earning Finals MVP.
Yeah, this is an underrated Finals performance right there, you know? This is underrated right there.
His post-game words carried the weight of redemption. It's so tough to win a championship, to start over from scratch, and we started over from scratch, and here we are again. This really feels like a dream. It had taken longer than Bryant expected, but he had finally stepped out of Shaquille O'Neal's shadow. Kobe and Phil Jackson, whose relationship once fractured under the pressure of success, were again at the summit. Jackson, who once called Bryant a selfish player, now saw him differently. Phil said he'd learned how to become a leader in a way in which people want to follow. 2009 didn't just give Kobe another ring, it changed the entire conversation about his career. Before 2009, he was Shaq's running mate who couldn't get it done alone. After 2009, he was a champion in his own right, and he wasn't done. But here's the thing most people forget. Kobe wasn't satisfied. He didn't just want to match Shaq's post-breakup ring, he wanted to pass him. And to do that, he'd have to go through the one team that had already broken him once, the Boston Celtics. And this time, it would go 7 games. Comment below if you think this was Kobe's best season. And if you enjoyed...
Definitely my favorite, personally. I mean, my favorite, I'll say, but I love 2010 a lot too. We're definitely going to react to that one right there. But hey, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Damn, Kobe.